Alright everyone, it's time for another video where I give someone undeserved attention because they attempt to antagonize me. I got a message actually, a DM on Twitter, and somebody was showing me a screen grab of a video of dude's thumbnail, and he's insinuating that I'm a CIA asset, based in part on the occult thing, but I'll get into it anyway. This is at 27 minutes and 10 seconds in, to link in the description. I'll pin it down below if I can remember to do so at the end of this video as well, so that you can follow along and listen to the hilarity. I've seen this kind of linguistics before, by the way. It's essentially an attempt to muddy the waters and create uncertainty. So psychologically within a person's mind, you don't say like X, Y, and Z are government assets. What you do is you say, well, there's reason to be suspicious, and here are the warning signs. And he's going into that. It's an attempt to break trust between creator and absorber of creation, and that's fine because he's actually right. People should be skeptical when they watch material, but when you have more than 10 years of a track record of consistently promoting liberty, and you started YouTubing when you were literally not even 20 yet, and when you were in college eating ramen soup, people can go back through that fucking back catalog and see exactly my political transformation over time, exactly what I believe in, and the fact that I am indeed very, very open about the fact that I was a Satanist. I am now an occultist. I practice paganism, and he seems to not understand that semi-separate. It's different. It's more of the spiritual system in general versus just the delving into the search for truth, just enjoying like superstition and shit. I found it funny because most of his video is about people promoting, the jab, COVID vaccine. He's averse to that. That's fine, but I mean, find an example where I'm gung-ho for getting vaccinated. I've made it clear I'm not intending to. There's no reason to. I've already spoken about this. What he should do, if he claims that he looked into me quite a lot, why don't you go and watch like the exclusives that I make on places like Odyssey and BitChute, where I can be a little bit more frank about things? Then you'll know even more about my views. I don't know if he did that, and I hazard a guess. I can't believe that he did. And then meanwhile, by the way, I've noticed this too. Why is it that a lot of people, when they like pick at me or they have a problem with me, like Logo Daedalus, why are they always chain vaping? Don't fucking understand it. It's a big problem. But yeah, he claimed that I was a liar based on, and then this is explicit, his claim there, based on the fact that I claim that I'm being suppressed by YouTube, and he's like, well, he gets all these views on his videos. Yes. Now go back a few months before the beginning of this year and see what the stats were. The fact is that this is something that was replicated cross-platform among virtually all independent creators, but I looked at his channel. His oldest uploads are from this year. They're about 8 months old. You didn't see the enormous change that happened last year around November, coincidentally around the election, by the way, wherein everyone who is covering independent political and news commentary suddenly got fucked. Instead of our channels growing quite quickly, I was gaining in some cases 500 subs a day, it slowed to a crawl. Instead of getting 100,000 views per video on average, which I was, it's considerably less than that. This is because of the priority system. I'll explain it for his benefit, since I can't imagine he won't see this video, because the whole attempt, I think, was to get a response. If you look at the priority system, years ago it meant Jimmy Fallon can't be mass flagged by a troll raid. That's the only thing that it meant. The channel is on the front, is trusted by YouTube, so the bots ignore it. That was to protect larger channels, legitimate corporate creators and shit like that, brand accounts. They decided to take that, and they thought it was such a good idea that they decided to tackle misinformation by making sure that anything that you search, priority content comes first. You can search for obscure music. You can search for some of my videos verbatim, literally copy-pasting the title, and it'll be behind crap from CNN and MSNBC. Now, why would the CIA, if I'm a CIA asset, allow me to get fucking buried? I wish I was getting money. They're too busy snorting coke and also selling crack to the inner cities. So unfortunately, no. Your surmising is not true. I am not a Fed, and I don't get money from the government in any way, shape, or form, or any foreign state government, or any corporate entity. Years and years ago, I became part of the no ad movement and decided I wasn't even going to take ad money. My money comes 100% from two sources. People donate money to me because they like the content. It's completely voluntary. It's also completely out there in the open on Patreon and Subscribestar. You know how much I'm making. It's a nice amount of money, but it's not CIA levels. And then for my books. And my books are 90% things that I edited over time. These are not books with my own personal opinions in them. Not exactly glowy behavior. I can tell you the names of certain glowies on YouTube, but I won't. I surmise, the funny thing is I have similar surmisings to this dude. There are definitely feds on YouTube, and TikTok, and Facebook. Well, that's basically one giant fed. Zuckerberg glows in the dark, I think, more than the rest of them. At least some of them, like Bill Gates early on was, in his garage, copyright trolling people, but a little bit different these days. The funny thing is, actually, looking at this dude's content, I think we have a little bit of agreement. Like, he seems to be bullish on crypto. He's against, like, the COVID passport mandatory vax bullshit. Well, I mean, we're saying the same fucking shit on that dude. I guess his only problem with me is that I'm an occultist. By the way, the Ouroboros is a logo that I started using long ago. Like, I had developed that. I think I was still in fucking high school when I was starting to develop that. I just thought that it looked cool at the time, but it gained a symbolic meaning. And the thing is, I've explained all these things. Here's the hard part. Hard part about replying to gutter snipes. The hard part is that you could refer them to videos that completely disprove what they're saying, but you get a back catalog of thousands of videos, so you'd have to manually sort through it every time someone has a fucking issue with you. I find that funny. It's like you're an agent of your own misfortune. You've been too successful. You've done too much work. Now you can't even sort through it all. I'd have to do it like off of YouTube. I'd have to have all the fucking videos and titles. I'd have to have like a massive ass notepad file and shit like that in order to sort through. You can't do it on YouTube anymore. You can't just say, I remember I covered this topic in like 2007. Here, let me type it in. It won't be there. Again, because of the priority creation system. No, you'll see Jimmy Fallon and MSNBC. I see things in related videos totally unrelated to what I'm searching for. I see shit like, sometimes I search for like darkwave music, like old 80s stuff. It's my favorite kind of music. So I'll be looking up like political stuff and I'll still be seeing those in the related because YouTube thinks, hey, he was listening to Italo Disco 20 days ago. He must want to listen to it again. Oh, he's searching for Hurricane Henri? Well, here's a song by a band called The Hurricanes, an obscure British folk punk or something. I don't understand. But he wouldn't know that because he hasn't been making content long enough. It's very interesting. This also seems to be a thing. Why is it always as well someone who claims to have investigated quite thoroughly but then shows ignorance about the subject? Vaush did this. He's like, well, I don't really know much about Styx Hexenhammer. Here's a 30-minute tirade about everything that he believes in. I don't know, dude. That's about all. Peace out.